And we're here. Look at that transition between the music into our beginning of our episode. How about that? Oh, already got a big stretch redeemed here.
Sunny_Ruth says big stretch.
Thank you, Sunny, for that. Oh, I appreciate that. I gotta figure out, I may want to move some of those notifications around in different places. Not quite sure yet. I gotta find good spots for some of that stuff. I don't know. But I will do some stretches for you because I definitely need it. I keep seeing that meme go around where they're like, if you've seen this I'll do it real quick. Just go and lock those up. Let's grab a pen here. They draw these lines and they're like, if you know what else I'm gonna do with this drawing or how I'm gonna complete this drawing, then you need to stretch. You are old enough that you need to stretch. That's the meme that keeps going around. And for anybody who wants to know, this is how you finish this. And I've seen a couple people do it incorrectly. You don't go straight across, you go up behind. Like this. So it looks like a twisted knot. The idea. Don't go straight across, that's wrong. That's bad. No interpretation, this is the right way to do it. There you go. That's the meme that I've seen going around at the moment. So I'm definitely in the category. I know what that is. So therefore, when Sunny redeems the stretch, I need to do the stretches. It's important. My question is so, and I've said this a bunch of times on the episodes, part of the reason why I stopped working in construction was because I fell off of an 8-foot ladder at one point and I damaged something in my back. I'm not quite sure what it is. I've had x-rays on it. I've had people doctors and stuff look at it and try to determine kind of what it is, but nobody seems to know. There's nothing that showed up on my x-rays or scans or anything like that. So they were like, not quite sure. But it definitely like on my left side of my back and stuff like that where I fell, because I fell onto my back from that 8-foot height. But I landed on my tape measure. So I think I really like either messed up a nerve or pushed something around. No, because they said even in the scans and stuff that they did, they didn't see anything out of place. So I probably damaged a nerve and it gets angry at me every once in a while. Stretching helps a little bit with that, and I try to, especially when we get this redeem here for the stretches, I try to stretch and push on it just a little bit, not too much that it hurts myself and fucks over my whole day, but just enough that kind of hopefully it loosens itself up more and more. I'm probably better off than I was several years ago because I have been doing a lot of trying to do a lot of stretches and stuff throughout the days, but yeah, you can definitely tell when you've damaged something pretty good. You're like, fuck, that one's not gonna go away. It doesn't matter how much physical therapy I'm gonna be able to do or anything like that. You're not regenerating nerve damage or anything like that. It's not how that works. So maybe we can get my sternum to pop a little bit here. Nope, not today. Not today. Oh, that's a good way to start the stream. Nice little stretches here. Thank you, Sunny. I appreciate that. Welcome everybody. Welcome to another Wednesday afternoon, morning stream, depending on where you are at. I'm your host, Tahoe Anime, if you didn't know. And I work on kids' picture books and illustrations and characters and animations and artwork and stuff like that. All kinds of different things. Sometimes I work on website stuff. Sometimes I work on, the gambit across the spectrum here is quite wide. Hoping to do some more like not in person, but like I'm gonna do some stamp making and stuff at some point. I'm pretty sure. I think we're gonna pull the trigger on buying some materials and putting together some stamps. So I'll probably have that up on stream at some point, working on that live, so everybody can see the process and going through kind of building things by hand that way. So just something to look forward to and think about as we continue to move on. We're getting to the end of the process for publishing of book 3. So last week on Friday, we went ahead and went through the process to apply for our Library of Congress control number. For those of you who were there, I went to the website. You guys got to see the information that I filled out, how to fill it out. Very basic, not too much. And they pretty quickly like the website stuff updated, but the information hadn't been officially put out there. Like there's a condition that they put forward that's like, if it's open then they're in the middle of processing it, and once it's closed, then it's officially, they like send you an email that says that it's ready to go and stuff like that. So luckily for us, we applied for that on Friday, and late last night I got the email confirming that our LCCN is ready to go. So that's exciting. Like I said, just about the last thing on our way to getting completed with book number 3. So email that I got from them says, we received your pre-assigned control number request for buttons and the box party surprise. Please print the text and the Library of Congress control number exactly as it appears below on the copyright page of this book. So that's what it is. That's the email that you get, and then they have the number for you, and all of that. So the other part of this email that you need to make sure and pay attention to once you get it is the part that says, please send a complimentary copy of the best edition of the book immediately upon publication to the Library of Congress, U.S. Program Laws and Literature Division, Cataloging and Publication Program. So make sure you follow that. Otherwise, they will, I'm assuming if you don't do this, then they will possibly bounce you out of the program. Next time they'll be like, nope, you didn't follow rules. Therefore, no pre-assigned number for you. So if you plan on keep doing more and more books, send them a copy. That's part of the deal, part of the condition for that. So it's not that much, and it doesn't have to get there super fast. It just has to be done after the publication is done, immediately upon publication. So, and you can send that in early if you want to. That's fine as well. So I know for me, as soon as I get a sample copy that I'm happy with, and I'm ready to order a bulk order of books from my printer distributor, that's when I'll grab one of those and I'll send it in to the Library of Congress. That'll be my time to send that in. So yeah, I've done a couple videos on that. I think I did one for book 1. I know I definitely did one for book 2. So if you're looking, not necessarily to see how it was done, but to see see the update posts and stuff that I did for it, those are over on my social media, over at Tahoe Anime on Instagram. I think they might be up on YouTube as well. I started posting the YouTube ones. Actually, I don't remember. No, I did those pretty early. I believe they're up on YouTube as well. So either one. Your continued participation in the PCN program is contingent on full compliance with this obligation. Copies sent to the Copyright Office for copyright. Deposit and registration do not satisfy this requirement. Thank you for your cooperation. There you go. So we have our LCCN. So we're going to go plug that into our book page here. And then we are just about ready to go on that. We are good to go. That's awesome. This is our dedication / copyright page here. All of our base legal information stuff, things you put down to try to protect yourself in some way, shape, or form. Let's see, we need 2026904961. There we go. Easy as pie. And that's literally the only place you need to put it. You don't have to put it anywhere else. I normally, when I get that email to, wait, what's going on? I just got here. Oh, so I don't know if you remember on Friday, we applied for our Library of Congress control number, LCCN. We got the confirmation for it last night. Actually, after I was done playing games with Ichabus late, I got the email saying that it was ready to go, and I can actually put it into the book page here, so that once we get this all printed and sent out for publishing, that it's ready to be picked up by libraries, which is really cool. Yeah, it's interesting being able to do some of this process on stream and kind of show, like, you know, the process of applying for this type of important stuff, and when it comes in and putting it through onto your book, and you know, it just the work stuff then involved with it, and the little time delays that happen on some of the stuff. But something as simple as this number here, you know, it just, you got to wait for it, but it makes a big difference, which is really, really cool. So you may be asking yourself, Tahoe, why is this important? Why do I need to worry about this or care about this at all? Let me grab, got a picture here. Stop. This one. I'll make a new layer. Drag this over. This is the big reason for wanting to do this. Once you get your books with your LCCNs and get everything set up and ready to go, you can actually start seeing if libraries want to add your book to their collection. So I'm very fortunate in where I live, the Washoe County Library System. They actually have a way for you to request a item to be added to their inventory. So it's not a guarantee, but it is a request that you can put in for. And sometimes that is either filling out a form or emailing somebody who's in charge of the doing the inventory for their collection and stuff like that. So I forget the official title. I might be able to look it up real quick. I'm looking in all the wrong places. Looking for love and hope. Why am I getting so many notes? Oh no, Xbox app is freaking out. Something's happened. Oh, that was interesting. I just got a whole bunch of stuff from Xbox just popping up on my phone screen. That was wild. Where is it? I'm looking in the wrong folder. Don't care about that. Anyways, there's usually somebody at the... Oop, maybe I did find it. Librarian Technical Services, something like that. Something around, it really depends on what the position is at your local library, but if you do have a library card, you can actually either go into a location or you can do it online, and you can actually request a piece of work or an item be added to their collection, and they will go through and double check and see if it's something they can obtain, if it's something they can afford, if they want to purchase it, or if it's something that they can borrow from another library that might be closer on hand, kind of thing. So that is always an option for anybody out there that would like to help, even not just me, but any self-published author that has their stuff put together in a way that is accessible for the libraries, go request their stuff. Like, they do get paid. Like, if a library buys the books, they do get paid for that. And just the presence of being out there and having their books in more places is invaluable in a lot of different ways. So that's why having our LCCN come in last night so that we can update our copyright page is a big deal. I was very fortunate to be able to get a hold of somebody at the Washoe County Library here. My first book was already in their collection, and I was able to talk to them, and they were very willing to purchase 2 copies and add the second book to their collection. And the crazy part is, and I just checked this a couple days ago, they haven't even received the books yet, and they already have one person on the wait list to check out book number 2. So that's exciting. That's really, really, really cool here to see. So I'm excited for that. It makes me excited for book 3 and getting that out there for everybody to be able to read and stuff like that. So it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference to be able to have that and do all that stuff. So that's why we're doing that, Alex. That's why it's important to have this number and go through and do all of the stuff. So yeah, I gave you the long-winded answer, but with good examples why it's important. Hopefully those are good examples. What I'm saying is go and get a library card and go to your local library. No, I'm joking. Thank you, Bishak, for putting your points towards our assistant. Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Sunny, for putting all of your points in. We're already up to 12% raised. Look at that, dang. We're already almost at 4,000 points. Thank you, I appreciate that. I can look to see, our assistant has moved around a little bit here, so I'm gonna have to rearrange her camera. She doesn't like to hang out in the same spot twice. She's kind of in a haphazard position here, but it works. Here she is. She's just hanging out. I have a library card. I had late fees totaling $100 low. What? How? Did you forget to return something? That's crazy. I know, so with that, oh, I already deleted off of that page. I wonder if I can go back. Undo clear. Okay. With this here, you see how it says 2 copies for book number 2? There used to be 2 copies of book number 1 as well, but somebody checked out one of them and never brought it back. So eventually they just took it out of their inventory, or, I don't even know if they charged them for it, or if it still got late fees for it, but yeah, somebody just loved it so much that they took it home. So something that happens in that way. I thought they eventually just charge you out for the book, like then you have to pay for it, but I forgot to return books and they marked them as lost. Yeah, once I returned them, it was $10. Oh, okay, cool. Easy peasy. Not too bad then. Oh, I guess I could have. I was on the wrong screen. Oh no! What did I do? Okay, I pressed a whole bunch of wrong things because it was on the wrong page. There we go. This is what I was talking about. You guys didn't get to see that well because I was on the wrong page, but yeah, see how it shows down here, 2 copies, 1 person on the waiting list for book number 2 right there. This one only has 1 because somebody, like I said, somebody took that one home and never brought it back, which is okay. It happens. But yeah, we're getting close. I've got this dedication page. Now that we've got the copyright base all done, nothing else left to do here, which is great. The only thing left I have to do is put in this, the details here for our dedication, which I will probably do off stream. Not because I don't like all y'all and I don't want you to see what's in here, but Mrs. Tahoe already knows this book is dedicated to her, but she doesn't know what I've got written for her. And we actually talked about it, and I was like, okay, well, I'll give you 2 options. I can put the page together and you can see the words that I've written and stuff like that ahead of time, or I can do part of that in secret and get it finished and stuff like that. And then when the actual physical copy comes to me, then you can see what I wrote, if that works for you. And she opted for the secret one. She wanted to wait to see what I had come up with and be surprised by that. So that's why we're not going to do the dedication here on this stream. But yeah, that I've already got it written and stuff like that. So we should be wrapped here on page number 2 very, very easily. So that basically wraps 99% of the book up, and we can move a lot of this over into the finished status. One of the things I did do though, as I went back on page number 24 here, and I was playing with our little character down here, laying down on his side, after just being scared all to heavens, playing with some of his emotional like distress and stuff like that with the coloring and how some of this works. So I'm gonna try to play with that a little bit more today here and see if I can get that wrapped up, because I don't want to. I get to a point where I'm like, do I make more changes? Do I I start double thinking back, being like, oh, is that page strong enough? Should I reconsider part of that? Is that blah, 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 blah. And it's like, once I get this far down the road, it's like, no, just let's take it back a second. And I everything is in really good order, really good setup and stuff like that. If you double think yourself now, then you'll start creating errors that have no meaning, no reason, or anything like that. So it's typically not worth it in that vein. So, but this is like one of those ones where I had a brainchild and it's like, okay, that one might need just a little bit. So, because I had him just lying on his side, and I was just like, it's fine, but I don't think it quite emphasizes what I'm going for. So, and I think I was watching an anime episode yesterday. I think it was yesterday, and saw some stuff. I was just like, oh, that's a better way to like show like distress and stuff like that. I was like, let's do that instead. Let's play with that a little bit. So that's where we are. What we're working on today. Trying to think, do I need to save anything else? Oh, yeah, I do. Before I get too far down the road here. Let's go ahead, save this so we don't lose it. Yeah, okay, that's right. Because we have a different way to save this. 2588. Save, replace. Okay, so we can get rid of that. Yes, we do want to save that. We'll go ahead and update this. So I make sure everything stays consistent, and here we go. Cool. And then we'll go through and we'll do the dedication on that once we get off stream at some point. Saving good. Okay, back to this one. Oh no, Bishek is... Oh. Why are you giving me more stuff to have to Google Translate? I'm assuming... It's so Ohio-esque. Google this? Oh no. Don't waste time translating. But I'm learning. Who decided? Oh, I know that one. I kind of wish I knew how to read Japanese. I wanted to take a class in college and I never got the opportunity to. I think that would have been cool. Okay, back to what I was messing with over here. No more distractions. No more Bishak distractions. Let's see, we need to move. Just a little bit. I want to blend that just a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. I was trying to decide. I put these little guys up here, but I don't know how I feel quite about them. I don't know if they should be thinner. I don't know if they should be thicker. I do think there needs to be something. I'm taking my lunch. Have a good day. Thank you, Bishak. Thank you for coming by and hanging out for a few minutes. I'm gonna go translate this one too. I love how you're like, stop wasting time on translating. I wish. Wish I could just read it. My name is Tahoe, and I support no. No. Tahoe Desu? Oh, that's how they say the name. But they spell it T-A-H-O and then Desu. Tahoe Desu. They cut the E. Interesting. Tried to trick me into saying something, Bishak, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Okay, so we've got him. Yeah, this is what it looked like before. Very basic, very simple. Just him like laying on his side. This is after he gets scared to death. And I kind of use I kind of use it here already. Am I doubling it up too much there then? Should we be halfway in between? Or should I make that more? I might need to make that more. Got a couple things that feel a little disjointed, but I'm okay with it a little bit. Maybe I should have swapped that. Trying to figure out if I've got some. I'm rethinking a couple things here. I like the way this kind of plays out. So on Sunday we did our in-person event, our book signing and stuff like that. But after, on Sunday afternoon, I actually had a writers meeting with our local Society of Children's Books Writers and Illustrators, our SCBWI meeting, and we talked about perspective and the character's perspective, reader's perspective, and some of those stuff. It was a really good formal presentation and stuff like that. And it was interesting on a couple points in that I am not like uber formally trained in writing. I know there are a lot of systems. I know there are a lot of mechanisms. I know there are a lot of rules and everything else that I'm going to put it into quotations here, like you're kind of supposed to follow, but at the same time, you're really not supposed to follow either. Writing is like art. It's very subjective. It's like, yes, there are some, it's the same as communications. There are things that are more effective and efficient than other things. And they're not hard rules. Like they're not, and I mean not like difficult, but like they're not set in stone kind of rules that you have to follow these, otherwise you can never be. It's not that. But at the same time, it gives you the ability to look at your work and be like, okay, knowing and understanding basic structure of how humans communicate, how story is portrayed, how words go together and words have meaning and stuff like that. Now taking some of the other informal rules that are out there and being like, okay, do any of these really apply? Do they make sense? Do they even matter at all? As far as what I'm trying to put together, or do they help make what I'm putting together a better product all along, a better story? And it was interesting because there was a lot of talk about using the words to be able to achieve that goal. And I think there was two of us there that were actually working on children's picture books, and I'm not sure if I was the only one that was an illustrator there. I think there might have been, I don't remember. But I started looking at it from the perspective of being like, yes, the words part plays a role, but in this format where we're talking with pictures, the pictures also make a huge difference in the perspective and how your story flows and works together and stuff like that. So I have to bounce back and forth between being the author and illustrator. I have to bounce back and forth between both of those worlds, because if I just take out all of the writing, I could come up with a image sequence that possibly makes sense. Like you can do a lot with just imagery to tell a story without having any words on the page. But that's a whole different type of product. And there are a lot of books out there that do really, really good work without having to have a single word on the page. They can just do that. For me, it was just like, no, I wanted to have this basic narrative storytelling style in here. These small, page chunk reading ability stuff, so that kids that were younger could manage some of this. It's kind of like comic books were to me when I got to be a little bit older as a kid, where it's just like I struggled reading novels. So as soon as my mom introduced me to comic books, and I could read a page and see all the visuals, and then read the next page, and I wasn't getting bogged down. I wasn't slowing down. I wasn't whatever. And I could get to the end of the book and be like, oh, I finished that. I was actually able to read an entire quote unquote book without struggling a whole bunch. And so I think I brought some of that into this work that I'm doing. And like I said, not being a strong writer and knowing all of the rules, I think I tend to go back like I'm doing right now. And I did this on book 2, not as heavily on book 1. I think book 1, I got done with that one. I was just like, nope, done. If I try to play with it too much more, I'm just going to screw it up. And there's a lot of that you have to take into consideration too. Is like, if I'm changing this, something simple as this character in the background, how much of the rest of this does it change? Does it make it feel different? Does it make me, and then I start thinking like, oh, should I take page 25 and move it to 26? Should I take 26 and move it to 25? Like, does that make, like, I start rethinking a lot of the flow and stuff, and I don't know if that's worth it or not. Kind of hard to tell sometimes. And sometimes you can play with it and see what happens, but lucky for me, I could just go like this and see if I like that better. I am Patch. At least that's what the people were calling me. Well, you don't look very scary, and you're a fellow cat. Nope, not scary at all. I kind of do like that a little bit better. It does put these two faraway shots together, and then it puts these two these close-up ones together. I was trying to kind of split them a little bit more. You're going to try to attack me at random, are you? I do like to play, so maybe? Nope, it's got to go the other way still. Because he's like, well, you don't look very scary, and you're a fellow cat. Nope, not scary. And then he introduces himself. So like, there was a reason why I had these two together, is because this flows into his introduction. to him. So this was our surprise attack here, and then our introduction of our second character. And then I was like, I had this joke that I wanted to put in for this, which is like kittens love to play and mess with their other cats and stuff like that. Hold the message for reasons, smart detection, possible ban evader. Nope, you're gonna get denied on that one. I still think it's a better setup. I still think that's okay. I reasoned myself out of changing it. Hey, look at that. I did something good. Causing a whole bunch of extra work. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. He's kind of, I think I wanted to look at that one again too, a little bit. We're looking at micro adjustments, nothing huge at all. We don't want to change the whole container of the story here, if we don't have to. There we go. I figured out instead of using this clear on this color, actually just filling it in with his body color so that the blend between the blue color and the gray color doesn't have a white band in the middle of it, which is kind of weird, but that's the way two layers interact with each other here in Illustrator. So that's a good adjustment fix for that one, which means we can get rid of that other layer, but it's not hurting us at the moment, so it's fine. Question is, do we want to go down lower? Let's turn this, see that's at 90. Let's go like 70 instead. Yeah, I think if I do that, if I increase our little stuff here, I think that might work better. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I feel like I still have something off here. Maybe that's what it was. It needed to go in the middle, not at the end. Or not underneath the eye, but in the middle. There we go. Yeah, okay. So if we do that, we might be able to keep... Yeah, that's better. Do I have... There we go. Just pull that down just a little bit so we definitely get that. Sweet. Okay, I like that better. So I think then we can take this one. Let's take this one and go the opposite direction. So push this up. And that means we can get rid of these. Copy that color. Do that. Let's get rid of, take this. I might go back to, I like the little curvies on here. Let's see, which one is that? That's that. Let's go here. I was trying to think. The vibe and the feeling we're trying to get down here, and I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think we might play with this a little bit here and see what we can do. I'm trying to figure out the best option for both of these. He's not in uber distress, but he's definitely been, like this one, he's definitely losing his soul. he's that scared. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's go ahead and save this one real quick. All right, so we've got about a minute and 20 seconds here before our first ad break. So let's swap over to our live assistant cam. Let's move that around a little bit. Such a happy sleepy dog. The beans, yes, the beans. But yeah, don't forget, today is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. Wednesdays are my 9 to 11 streams rather than 9 to 12. Usually go pick up the kid's great grandma. We go grab Michelle, the daughter, And we go out and do a little stuff. So we go and visit the grandparents, great grandparents, and say hi and do a little thing with her. Something of a tradition that she started a long time ago that we're just kind of continuing on. But that's why I end the stream a little early today. Not only that, but the kids have early release, so that's part of what's going on. But we are going to take a quick 3-minute break here. So keep an eye on Sora, or have her keep an eye on you, and then we will be back and we'll keep going. Hey, look at that. Throwing right into the ads. They were fast today. Morning, Bryce. Good morning. Yeah, she's got beans. She got them beans. She doesn't have big beans. There's a husky Malamute mix that lives up the street from us somewhere, and he's a big boy. Like, he's a big dude. He's tall. He's got much longer legs than Sora does, and he's just like all around. He's got to be, because Sora's only like 50 pounds. He's got to be pushing like 100 pounds or something like that. He's a big boy. But Sora just loves the snot out of him, because she's like, oh, another winter dog, yay. Like, there are certain breeds of dogs that she really gets along with, compared to others, but that he's got huge paws, like huge toe beans compared to Sora. I wouldn't call hers tiny by any means, but comparatively, yeah, he's a big boy. And she lets me play with him a little bit sometimes, mess with him. I was gonna go touch him while on stream, but I was like, she probably doesn't want that. I'm not gonna mess with her. I could go pick some of her fur. She'll let me do part of that, because she's poofing a little bit there, but not too bad. She's like, more please. It's that simple. It just comes out. And 90% of that is just all undercoat. But she also doesn't like floof like a lot of other huskies, or either that or we pick at her enough that she doesn't have massive floof times. But oh yeah, your cat's been shedding a whole bunch lately. That's funny. Patch goes through that a little bit, but not as, like, Sora's a little bit. She's got a lot, but it's not. If you've seen videos online of huskies, they look like they literally just shed their skin. Like, they just drop everything. But Sora, she, like, the back half of her, that's the worst part, especially down on her back legs. She doesn't lose it much anywhere, any other place. So she doesn't do like a full shedding of everything. But we do keep her pretty cleaned up too. I think sometimes she hates it because we're like, hey, Sora, come here, and she has to come over, and then we start like pulling out the chunks and stuff like that, and she just looks at us like, really? Come on, seriously, dudes? Like, I don't mind, but I do mind a little bit at the same time. Does it get worse for Sora when it starts to warm up? She kind of bounces back and forth just in season change in general. So if it goes from cold to hot, I don't even know if it's the season change or it's just like on the yearly change. It's kind of weird. There will be some points where she'll poof out and it'll be going from cold to hot, and then sometimes she'll poof out and it'll be going from hot to cold. It's just kind of random, kind of weirdly whenever. Sometimes it'll wait until like she's a little bit further into summer, and then she'll just have a big blowout. And then there are times when we've had snowstorms and stuff like that, and she's had blowouts too. So it's like, it just makes no sense. You have no rhyme or reason for what you are doing here. I don't know. She's a weirdo. She just does it when she feels like it. Kind of does. Okay, so I had dogs when I was younger, so I don't remember too much about them. Dreamer had dogs much later into her life, so she has a whole different experience with dogs, especially because she had a lab. But like, and Sora is not a typical husky in any way, shape, or form. Like, she's very mellow, very chill. You saw she let me go over there and like pick some of her fur. Not a big problem to her. She's not uber vocal about anything either. She doesn't like do the howlies at all. We try to get her to do them and she just won't. She's just like, no, I'm good. And we're like, oh, sad face. But she also periodically puts herself on a diet too. Like, sometimes we think like sometimes she feels like she's getting a little bit heavy, and then she's just like, I'm not gonna eat food for a couple days. I'm okay with that. Like, and then after that she'll go back and she'll be like, oh, I'm feeling better, so I'll go ahead and eat and stuff like that. So, but, and it could be a week or two or whatever it is, but she's weird. She's not what we would typically expect from a dog or a husky in general. She's not one to like scarf down. When we've done good like training her and stuff like that, like she won't grab somebody's food or anything like that. So I don't know. Oh, she got a big old floof on there. I gotta grab that. Big old floof. You're a big old floof. And then she just rolls into a little ball. Yeah, I think that applies across her entire personality. She just does what she feels like. She just does. If you are here and you're not following me on Instagram, go check out the last video I posted of her, where she's carrying around her little favorite stuffed animal, and Sora's 9 years old. And she randomly decided that stuffed animal needed to go on a walk with her one day. And Dreamer took her out and she made it through like half of the walk. And I think she got to the point where she was like tired and ready to start panting and she had to put it down. But yeah, she was just like, nope, this toy's going with me on a walk now. It's like, okay, you are a free thinker in every way, shape, and form. You've got this dialed in for yourself, and you know how to make yourself happy and do it when and how you want, which is a wonderful life lesson to take away from everything, but it's also like really weird to see in some ways. So, but cool at the same time. So, all right, I could talk about Sora all day, but we won't do that. That video was super cute. It was so funny to just see her do it and be like, is she gonna take this all the way, or is she gonna like go out the door and just drop it, or walk down to the sidewalk and just drop it down there? And you can see her just like prance all the way down to the sidewalk and then prance up the sidewalk and disappear as they were walking away. And it's just like so funny. It was so cute. She was so proud of herself too. It was funny. That's a good time. She still has the ability to surprise us every once in a while, which I like that about her. Okay, so the question is, move this one around. Let's do, I want to play with this a little bit here. I want to cut some more of this circle out. Just make that solid. Then we'll move things around again once we get this cut out. That. Okay, then we're going to edit gradient. Oops, nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to move this. And I wanted to increase that. Okay, the question is, does that make that feel better or worse? Can I try a darken, multiply, color burn, lighten, that doesn't do what I want, screen, don't care, color dodge, no, overlay, no, soft light, hard light, that's about the same, difference, no, exclusion, hue, saturation, none of those are gonna, okay, so just normal for now. Yeah, I think the question is whether or not I like this aura thing coming off on this page, or if I want it here. I think having his yeah, I think that's good there. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I didn't realize these were the wrong color. Aha, because it is the wrong color. Not a CMYK. We want the CMYK. This 4E4. Okay, there it goes. I was like, why did it do that weird? Something's off here. These should be working in conjunction with each other. Let's see. Okay, that's fine. 00085. 85. There it goes. Wow, why is that being so weird? Does that have two different settings? Oh, interesting. The 4E4E50 can either be here or it can be here. That seems wrong. There we go. Got it fixed. So we've kind of returned back to where we started with this. But we changed that one. But we added these guys here. Does it make a difference? Let me double check. See if I have any examples on me. I keep a folder on my phone of like facial expressions that I've either seen online or from anime episodes that I take pictures of. Where is it at? Faces. There we go. Let me see if there's anything in there that kind of gives me that same. Oh, that's what I was going to try to do. Not these guys. Maybe a couple like little spirals. Do we have any good photos of kind of this idea? Sometimes they're like lines that are straight down. Do we have... Can I send this? Okay, cool. I did. I was able to send that. So this was kind of, let's see, can I put, let's put this here. This was kind of the idea for this one. That's one of them. Grab, see if there's any other ones. Okay, so we're looking for inspiration here now. So I take a lot of photos or images and I put them into a notes folder on my phone, and luckily I can just airdrop these over to my PC now, which is nice. I don't have to take them apart or anything like that. Another one of the ideas. Don't know if that one's. But see how those ones are straight down rather than curved. Let's put this one on there too. Wish this would be smaller. So this is a background element that has that same kind of wishy-washy, worry, exhausted kind of idea behind it. Where are my other ones? Are there any more? I feel like there's some of them that are. I'll send this one over too. Let's put that one on there. This one's more of like a wildly unimpressed face than a recovering from a shock/scare. We're really trying to make something small back here. Because this is very tiny on the page back here in the right hand corner, so we don't want to eat up too much of the focus at all. Let's see, do I have any others? I don't think so. I think I need to keep an eye out for some more. Let's go and look at my other saved folders here. I've got folders everywhere. It's the problem is being on social media and stuff like that, is then you're like, you find so much stuff and like, ooh, that, ooh, that. I gotta save that. Ooh, I might need that at some point. Ooh. Nope, I don't have anything there. Okay. So this is kind of what we're working with, kind of the ideas. I saw one where when there's more confusion, then they do little spirals. So that's what I was kind of thinking, like, do we do spirals? We don't need this behind there if we don't want it. But at the same time, these ones all have a very drastic tone shift. Even with the across the face here and stuff like that, to really punch up that idea of what we're trying to get to, the emotion. For our character, he's going from being super surprised, scared, to possibly losing part of his soul from that scared, to a slight recovery. Yeah, okay, yeah, don't put the... Yeah, no colors on his face here. Do we just not have anything? I feel like it needs some type of marks or something here. some type of extra help to push it along. And I don't think I have any. I don't have any other ones around. Okay, we'll do a little Google search and see if we can find anything here. Okay, but we're not in the scared condition anymore. We're kind of in the recovery after scared. Oh, maybe it's shock. Yeah, maybe it's shocked. I don't think we're far off. It just needs a little bit of something. I'm not 100% sure what. I think that's kind of why I wanted to put this behind him on the other page. Can't tell if I like that or not. Choices. This is always the hardest part, is trying to figure out if the adjustments are worth it or not. Sometimes I look at what if I make adjustments to this big version of what I've got on the screen. I'll look to see what it looks like in the little one, because that gives me a better idea of the actual like presence of the thing, since I can't see too many details in that top preview up there, but I can at least see like the blocking, the how the presence of the colors and stuff like that, how that all makes that page feel at a distance. It does add a little something to it. A little something. I'm not sure. I don't think I like the curlies. I already used some of these here, especially in the middle of his face. Do I like that? I like that a little bit bigger. Little adjustments here and there. Keep making little changes and I'm like, oh, that might be better. Shoot. Yeah, I think this one definitely needs that aura behind it. I think it just gives it a little extra something for the color and everything else. It doesn't probably need it, but it just gives it a little bit of a bump here. Now, whether or not I can figure out what I'm trying to do with that face or not, that's another question. 'Cause I definitely like how Jinchi here is got his mouth like way open because he's like really out there. I think that's kind of what I'm trying to emulate here a little bit. Maybe it goes the opposite direction. So maybe if we do that. Expand this. Maybe something like that. Maybe. I don't know if that made it better or not. This is where I'm talking about, like, sometimes when you get too far and you start trying to improve too much, then it starts to fall off, where you're not actually making significant improvement. You're just kind of you're just fiddling around with the same thing, but it's not giving you any bumps in anything. Is there a bot that came in here? Here's... Huh. Don't want to go too far because we already did... We did that one. I think that's why I went with the thinner mouth there, is because... I'm going to go back. Go back to my original idea here. Let's go and lock those down. Save that. Yeah, sometimes it's like you don't necessarily have to change anything. Like, it does what I want it to do. Slight adjustment there. Get rid of Master Chinchi here because we don't need him. Yeah, let's leave that the way that is. That should be... We already made enough adjustments to this one. It should be good now. Let's go ahead and export that one out. 588. Boop. Go. It's going to go here. It's going to be page 23. Replace that. Relink. 3. Yeah. It punched it up just a little bit, just enough, I think. We still need something. Go ahead and get rid of 23. Yep, that. Figure out something for this. I don't know if we need the aura. I mean, it's maybe something a little like that with the marks. That I think that might be better. I think we're onto something there. Doesn't have to be a big one, just a little guy. Go ahead and edit that. I want to not do that. Do that. How do I make that thinner again? Okay, there we go. That's the one. Yeah, see now that's not peeking out far enough. I want a little bit more than that. We can make that bigger too. Yeah, it probably needs a couple little marks on it, and then should be fine. I really do need to like not mess with anything else. Okay, want that. We should be able to edit gradient on that. Push that down a little bit here. Yeah, something like that. A little aura, but not too much. I could put the little squigglies on his head. Nope. No, they have to be off the face. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Because these, I don't know if the straight ones are going to be... Those ones are straight, these ones are curved. It all has to do with the feeling and the vibe of it. I feel like I want this to be emanating out of him, like he's kind of releasing it a little bit. Something like that. Definitely not that. Trying to get them out of the way of these like holes that I put in the box here, so that they show up a little bit better. Yeah, now they just look weird. Ugh. They don't look right. Well, we can try the straight ones and see if that feels better. Don't feel like it's going to. They usually come. Go. Oops. Maybe something like that? This is the hardest one I've done so far. Something about it just doesn't feel... I'm gonna put it on him. That looks like he's got signal coming out of his head. Maybe that's part of what it is. It has to be at the top of the aura. No, maybe something like that. Okay, so this is at 100%. So this is the size of the page for me. Huh. I feel like we're close. Also, I feel that since I made this joke about the water, I almost need to give him like a little cup of water or something here that he's holding. Kind of implying that he got his water and now he's recovered, kind of thing. I feel like I need one or the other. I don't know. I need some examples. That's what I need. I don't think I have anything in any of my manga that I have on me. Good searches either. So we fixed that one. That one's still funky. Not sure. Not 100% sure here yet. Hard part is I want to push and finish this one. Because like I said, then the only one I have left to do is that dedication. Unless I want to change anything else. Which I'm trying desperately not to do. Double check. Got other faces here. Had the little teardrop. It doesn't really work with him sideways like this. Put it on his forehead. Beep. just doesn't feel right. When that breaks. Save that. And save this. Like I don't hate that. I also don't love it either. Oh wow, we're already down to our last break here. Damn, that was fast. I was not paying attention to that at all. Yeah, there's something minor. I could probably get away with not having either of these things on there. That would probably be fine. But I feel like it needs just a little something to punch it up just a hair. Just a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure what quite it is. But there's something there. But we'll go ahead and save that at the moment. Double check to see what our puppers is doing. She's hanging out right here. We'll swap over to our live cam here. We've got about a minute before our last break, and then we will wrap up our stream for the afternoon, and then we'll be back on Friday. Is the plan. But I think I'm gonna have to figure out. I might have to do some more research tomorrow. I've got social media posts to put out tomorrow in the morning. Still have, normally I work on those on Wednesdays here, but I decided I wanted to do a couple of these things and talk about the fact that we got our LCCN, and we are moving right along with all of our publication stuff. But yeah, once we get back from our break, we'll talk about what the plan is for Friday, and then we'll go from there. So, hang out for, like I said, those 3 minutes. Watch Sora just being a nappy dog, and then we'll be back in a minute. All right. Okie dokie. Made it back. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah. Trying to riff for a few seconds here, making sure those ads are all cleared up for people and stuff like that. Should be okay, but you never know. Okay, so we have reached the end of our stream for the afternoon here. I will be back on Friday, working on some more of the book publishing stuff. I'm hoping there's a possibility that we can start going through and uploading, or start filling in our metadata and our uploading of files to Ingram Spark on Friday for book number 3. If we get that done, then we are on our way towards printing out a sample copy and having it shipped to me so that I can double check to make sure everything is looking good. And then we can make more adjustments if we need to from there, or if everything is kosher, then we'll be in pretty good standing there for our future release date. So that's kind of where I'm hoping to go for. I think I'm aiming for Friday to probably play with some of that stuff and get that set up. And then I can go from there. If not, if something else comes up in the meantime, probably next week we will push towards getting that put out there for the beginning of March, because it takes about a month for Ingram Spark to print out copies. Whether it be, if it's one copy, they should be able to do it a little bit faster. If it's multiple copies, it definitely takes a whole month's worth of time for them to get a shipment together. So always make sure and plan out ahead for those type of things and make sure you know what your leeway time is. I was talking to Mrs. Tahoe the other night about that, and we're looking at trying to get a hold of printing out a whole bunch of books for the rest of the year, because we know as we get closer towards Christmas and gets down to the end of the year then their calendar for shipments and stuff like that, the lead time goes up because everybody's ordering books at that time, so their printing goes wild during then. So if you can get your stuff in and printed early, then you'll get it within the reasonable 1 month lead time, but like I said, closer to the end of the year, it definitely gets pushed out like a month and a half maybe. Hi Sora, you ready to go outside? Okay, give me a second. I'll wrap up the stream and then we'll go outside, okay? But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you all for coming by and hanging out for a little bit. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Bishak. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you all for sticking around and watching and hanging out with me. I know it's a shorter one on Wednesday, and actually, like I said, this one went by kind of fast, so I was definitely cruising on trying to figure out what the heck little adjustments I wanted to do on this stuff was. So, but thank you all. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. It is hump day. Go get some tacos. That's for Sunny. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all on Friday. Bye, everybody. gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw in one more thing here before we leave, and that's look at all of our snow. It is all gone. This is for Alex, so that I can tell him to come back and watch the stream and be like, watch Monday's stream where we had tons of snow, and then come back and watch Wednesday's stream when there is not a drop of snow anywhere out there. So, bye everybody.